Hi guys, it's Misty from the Book Rat, and today we are going to have a little lunch chat slash book chat. If you guys are sick of these, let me know. I'm sorry, but it's just kind of a fun little ritual, I think. I'm enjoying having lunch with you guys. It's nice. Nice little bookish lunch date. So, yeah, I'm going with it. So today, I'm having what I call adult lunchable, which is cheese, crackers, and turkey, but all of a better quality than what you would get in a Lunchable, and some grapes. So I've just got it all like piled into a little saucer, and that's what we're doing. So I'm going to be crunching a lot. Sorry for your misophonia. And for our topic today, I wanted to talk about reader routines. So I've kind of had a video kicking around in the back of my head for a while that I want to do, and I guess I want to kind of talk through some things with you guys first because it feels not fully formed. So back in January, I had a video about keeping your reading resolutions and how to read more, and one of my tips was, that was a very juicy grape. One of my tips was to set a reader vibe, so to make reading feel like a treat to yourself and a kind of relaxation and a me time, and not something that you have to do because you have to slog through something. Whether that's running yourself a bubble bath and lighting some candles, or taking a book to the beach or outside into a hammock and just kind of luxuriating, making it more of a sensory experience. And I stand by that. But you obviously can't do that every single time you read, unless you're really fortunate. So I wanted to talk today about reader routines, and if you have one, I feel like a lot of us fall into routines just naturally, and sometimes routines can start to feel like ruts. So for me, for the longest time, for whatever reason, I was feeling like I could only read at night. I don't know if it was like a productivity thing, like I felt like if I was taking time to read during the day, I could have been doing something else and I was wasting time, or if it was just that I had been reading at night so much that's started to just feel like reading time, like I couldn't read any other time. And the problem with that was, number one, I would either be really tired, so I wouldn't read very much, or I'd be reading something really good and it would keep me up way later than I should have been. And number two, what I read when I read in bed tends to be different. Sorry if the angle just changed, I had to change my battery. I don't remember quite what I was saying. Yeah, I know. So when I would read at night, mostly, I would read something digital, because then I just have it on my phone, and when I'm done reading, just turn my phone off. I don't have to get up and turn a light out, which meant that I was pretty much only reading comics from Hoopla and shitty ebooks that I had gotten for free on Amazon, just because they were convenient, and that was all I was reading. Like, I would have another book going that I was supposed to be reading, like something a little more highbrow or a little more engaging than those things that I was technically reading, but I wasn't ever picking it up because it wasn't what I was reading at night, and I was only reading at night. So I kind of really fell into a rut there, and I still do mostly read at night. So to accommodate that, I put my lamp on my desk much closer so that I can reach over and get it, or if I have to get up, I only have to like step off the bed and lean and then get back in bed so I can read something physical. And also, I've been trying to keep more things like books from NetGalley on my phone and audiobooks on my phone, because then I don't feel like I have to search for like nonsense book that I'm just using because I'm supposed to be reading, but not because it's what I actually want to read. So this way I have some things that I'm still working through that are engaging, that I can read any time of the day, but also can read at night. And I still do read plenty of comics on Hoopla. Those always count. I also tend to read them first thing in the morning, too. I also love to read in the bath, so I've been trying to make that more of a regular routine. So, obviously not every day that I read am I going to read in the bath, but I've been trying to make it like a weekly thing, at least. I even put it in my bullet journal so that I'll remember to have like a little pampering session and just deep condition my hair, sit there for a while with a book. But that is more of a winter routine, because obviously when it starts getting hotter, I don't want to sit soaking in hot water. So as I was kind of thinking about this, I was realizing that I actually do sort of split it up even seasonally for my routines. The first warm days, and you've probably heard me talk about this before, as soon as the weather gets warm enough for me to sit comfortably outside for a long period of time, even if it's with like a fleece blanket, I grab a book and I head outside. That's probably my favorite place to read. Just outside in the yard on a nice spring day when the breeze is blowing and the squirrels are chittering and the birds are just trying to woo each other, and it just is so soothing to my soul. So I will sit out there literally all day if I have the time. And that becomes a big part of my spring and summer routine. When it gets even warmer, as long as it's not disgustingly so, I will head to the beach and do the same thing and just listen to the water. By having that kind of something else going on, it actually helps me keep reading longer, I think, because I will take breaks every now and then. You know, you do get distracted by the squirrels and the birds and the water, and so you kind of stop and you peer around and you breathe it in, and it's this nice little refresh before you dive back into the book, and it just feels like a more satisfying experience because there's more going on in a sensory manner. Having those little breaks and something to split it up without pulling you completely out of reading mode works to kind of hone your focus, I think. So, not that that's why I do it just because I enjoy it and I want to be outside, but I also want to be reading. Yeah, that's a big routine of mine and something that I consistently fall back on and have for years and years. So for this little chat, I kind of wanted to hear about your routines. Do you have them? A lot of people, I think, have never really thought about this and maybe have a routine and have fallen into routine without really realizing that that's what they've done. So kind of spend a little bit of time and think about what your routines are. Do you only listen to books on your commute or read on the subway, or do you only read at night or in the morning or after dinner? Do you read for a set amount of time every day or every week or just sporadically? Is it dependent on the type of book that you're reading or the format of the book you're reading, whether it's physical or on your Kindle or an audiobook or an ebook or a comic book? How does all of that influence your routines and the reading you get done and your enjoyment and your engagement, I guess, with what you're reading? I'm curious. Mull that over and tell me in the comments. And also, while you're thinking about it, I would like to know what your reading is ideally versus in reality. Do you mean to have more of a routine? Do you mean to read for a certain amount of time? Someone was telling me that a teacher, I think it was, that they knew, reads X amount of books a year. I don't remember what, but it was something, astronomical. And she had asked her why, and it was because she would read for 3 hours every night. That was a block of time she set aside and never missed it. So 9 to midnight she read every single night, which I found really fascinating, but also very regimented. And I don't know that I could do something quite that long or that consistent as a general rule. But at the same time, I mean, it's nice, I think, to have that block of time set aside. That's your reading time, and you're going to do it. So what is your ideal, if you were going to build your perfect reading routine, from time of day to type of books to location to having snacks on hand, like anything that would go into your ideal reader vibe? I want to know. I want to know your full, give me all the nitty-gritty details. I want to know everything about it. And I want to know how that compares to the reality. So like your shiny Pinterest perfect version, and then like your messy Pinterest fail version of what your reading routine is like. Please tell me in the comments. I'm really actually curious about this. Some of you might be like, this is so stupid. That's such a boring topic. Who cares? But I get fascinated by things like this. Just do. It's a peek into your life. I want to know. Let me in. But, I mean, I don't know that there's really much more to say. I hopefully, after this and after things keep percolating up here, will have a video coming for you with my ideal reader vibe or vibes, maybe some suggestions of setting a reader vibe for you. That's the goal. We'll see if it happens. But that is it for this lunch/book chat. Really looking forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments, and I also, of course, want to know what you had for lunch, or snack, or dinner, or dinner, or second breakfast, or whatever it was that you happened to be eating. Let me know that too. If you have suggestions for any topics that you would like to see on a lunch, book, or tea chat, let me know those as well. But that is all for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and happy reading. Back to my Lunchable. Something so satisfying about these. I think it's the kid aspect, but also, like, meat, cheese, and crackers. It's just perfect. It's perfect. I also like to do this with, like, hummus and baguette and roasted red pepper, or crackers with like brie and chicken and pear, and like I will fancy it the fuck up. So good. Why? What makes you think you need to be right there? Look at me when I'm talking to you. I love you so much. No, don't tell me no. You don't tell me no. Get out of here. I think I just saw UPS on the next street. Supposed to get a package today. I don't know what's in it yet. Excited prepackaged Jimmy. Update. Not one, but 2 package. Coming to a haul near you. In case I forget this in the haul, one of those packages came from a company that I hadn't heard of before, and I don't know how they got my address. So, I mean, thanks for the free book, but like, what in the world? I'm not saying I'm the hardest person to find online, but generally, as a company, you communicate first. I'm just saying. But I am still happy about the book, though.